We're here. Yay. Yes. Okay. Another change this morning. Just a second. Let's see what happens. I feel I just saw me do that. I don't know who I looked like. Which cartoon? Something Wile E. Coyote-ish about it. Well, hello everybody. Here it is, Thursday. It is the 5th of September, and we're back, after an extraordinary day on Tuesday. I must say, extraordinary day for the second time in a row on a Tuesday. A huge number of you were watching the video with me. A huge number of you said, "You know what? I'm going to prioritize this." And when the video's over and then I'm posting it in different places and I'm making sure everything's okay. And I saw the number, like last week, I saw the number. And I thought, is that a mistake? Is that wow? And the reason I did that is because until very recently, I was getting like a third of that number that I'm now seeing, and all of a sudden, oof, in through the roof. So I want to talk about a couple of things related to what we perceive to be not working, what we perceive to be insurmountable, and what, as a result of those first two, we come to believe is terribly wrong with us, terribly wrong. And the thing is, not true. It's not, oh my God, and now I'm an idiot because I got it wrong. No, it is that we can only see certain things from certain points of view. So that's where we're going today. It is a conversation about change yet again. It is a conversation about perception yet again. And as with this Tuesday and the previous Tuesday, it is about the inescapable fact when we take a few steps back and look at the picture. This is our superpower. We do this better than not only any other creature, but we also do it better than any other thing that we do. And we're not actively consciously saying, and now I'm going to be brilliant. It's built in. It's built in. And because it's built in, we don't necessarily realize what we're doing. And by the way, because it's built in, we can all stop immediately going, I meant to do that. Because no, we didn't mean to do it. We are it. It is happening. It does happen. That's what it is. So let's begin with a restorative sip of something. What a good idea. And I want to talk, first of all, also on this subject, very much on this subject. I want to talk about something terrible, tragic that happened this week. And by the way, every day, everywhere, in equal numbers, great triumphs are offset by great tragedies. It is physics. It is the way it works. For every action, there is an equal and opposite. Not to get even, not to override. It is just physics. Pendulum goes this way, it must go that way. They're not connected. It just is. So yet again, a hearing in the media that a young person, clearly overwhelmed, made a conscious decision to take a weapon into a school and hurt people. And it's devastating to think that anyone would see that as a plan. It is overpoweringly tragic that a young person would be that desperate, that anyone would be that desperate. young person, when we who have been through that age and have moved through other ages know how much is waiting potential. But in that moment, at the age we are, all we can see is where we are. All we can see is how we feel in this moment. And we can agonize over what was, and we can worry or anticipate what may come. But the only thing we got full on control of is this moment. And there's lots of times when, and I don't mean of equal seriousness, certainly, but there are lots of times when we have made this unfortunate decision. Well, I'm here now, I might as well. And the two aren't connected. That I'm here does not mean I have to follow through. That I'm here merely means that I'm here. All my options are always open. And people often choose to just, well, I'll go ahead anyway. I'm here. And what that does is that gives away our power to rethink and reevaluate and recalibrate. And once we give away our power, we're lost. We have nothing. So I just want to take a moment. Somebody was saying it's so tragic. It's the beginning of a school year, and I said it is a turning of a page. The beginning of a school year is the end of a time of holiday, of rest and reflection, and theoretically quality time with people you care about. That whatever transpired during the so-called quality time with people you care about resulted in something of such desperation. It speaks volumes to the quality time, and it speaks, there's a bigger word. It speaks, bigger word, to the work that we all need to do to get closer to people, to thank people when they have done something amazing for us. I saw a thing yesterday. I was talking to my buddy, and about the many things that we have not necessarily intended, but rode through looking like we meant to do that. And I said, I came across a quote this morning that is so perfectly how I feel and how we are, that I want to share it with you. And it was a description of friendship. And I'm going to sum it up because I don't have it in front of me, but the description was basically the person who takes the call when you're at rock bottom, and always takes the call when you're at rock bottom, and who laughs with you as hard and as loud and as ridiculously as you with you when the times are good. That's the definition of friendship. And I said, I think you need to hear this. And she said, oh my God, that is us. And I said, it certainly is. And for all those calls, during all those trips back and forth to hospitals, and then I said, and for all the other ridiculously funny, I believe I may have wet my pants and it's all your fault moments, equal thumbs up, thank you. And we need to do that. We need to do that for the most random people. We need to do it for somebody who says, here, I think you dropped this. We need to, I did it the other day. I'm now living in a high rise. And when I drove in and parked my car, one of the maintenance people was hosing down the area near the garage and near the garbage stuff. And I walked over and I went around and stood in front of them because they had, and so I didn't want to scare the crap out of them. And I waved, and so person stopped, shut off the hose, took out the earbuds, and I said, okay, I'm going to bet large money that you did not go to school hoping and praying that one day you'd be doing this for a living. I'm going to bet that was not the goal. And even if it was the goal, I want to tell you that it changes a whole lot about my day coming and going, immeasurably. When I am able to drive a car out of this beautiful parking area in this beautiful building And the area where we all place our stuff is clean and smells clean and looks clean. And it's because of you. And it's not a swell job. So thank you. And he just stood there like I had suddenly spoken Urdu to him. And he said, thank you. Nobody's ever. And I said, well, they're idiots. They should have, and they should continue because it's incredible. And I know it's not a swell job on any day. Thank you. And I walked away. You know what that cost me? Nothing. Cost me nothing. What did it give him? Something. Something. And how did we both feel? Brilliant. Brilliant. It's that small. It is literally that small. A moment, a time, an instinct, an inclination to wipe away, tear down, diffuse pent up rage, loss, confusion, despair, disappointment. It is that simple. Not once, you got to keep doing it. It's not rocket science, though, and it doesn't cost millions of dollars. It costs connection. It costs recognition. It costs thank you. That's all it costs. Somebody's going through puberty. They have no idea who they are. Speaking as a woman who has not only been through puberty, but all the other stuff, there are lots of times when whatever is going on within, we have no idea who we are, and we say things and we do things and we think, who the hell did that? Oh, me. Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, but when you're a teenager and everything is upside down in a size and shape and way that we've never known, and you know what? Frankly, Scarlett, we have no idea it's going to stop. We have no idea. I read something the other day posted by someone who I've exchanged some messages with. And the post was, I'm fed up. I'm tired of praying when I go to bed that I don't wake up. And I thought, oh gosh. So if you're tired of doing that, try the other way. Maybe try praying for strength and praying for connection with your friends and saying, need a little help here. Because clearly if you're waiting for something to end and it's not ending, it's not supposed to. Just saying, right? So in this rather heavy moment of hello, and I'm not normally this way, when I saw my great friends post about it, and hearts go out and prayers go out, and I thought, yeah, and hands should go out, hugs should go out. We can't, if we don't know them, we can't hug them, but we can hug the person next to us. And they can hug the person next to them, and they can hug the person next to them. And the 6 degrees of separation will eventually reach that person, because that's how it works. The ripple effect is the ripple effect. It has to begin with us, though. Oh, who am I? I'm just one person. You know what? Go ahead. Pick up the stone, drop it in the pond. Get it going. Get it started. I don't say, I love every one of you. I don't do that. What I do is I get on the phone with somebody, or I get them face to face with me, and I say, I want to tell you one of the things you did that I'm just so grateful for. And I make it tangible. I make it tangible so they can look at something and say, wow, thanks. I didn't, it's not really. And I said, yeah, no, but to me it is. And I wanted you to know. We have to make it tangible, because the empty words They're just fluff, wind gone. So that's the opener. That's the opener. If there's somebody who has done something pretty awesome for you, just tell them. Not right now. Now, of course, you're here. That's awful. Tell them, you did something awesome for me, and I want you to know. Thank you. You're amazing. Do it. Cost you nothing. And they will be so surprised and pleased and delighted. With any luck, they'll do it to somebody. And we will get the ball going. Because it's a tough time for all of us at some points in time. So now let's segue. One more bit of coffee, and then we'll talk about the thing that we're here to talk about. How much have I? Oh, dear. Okay. When I'm facing this way, and I'm looking into the camera, when I'm looking this way, I'm waving at the camera like an idiot. Here's what I can see. I can see everything that's behind me. I can see what you can see because, by the way, camera. Okay. Here's what I can also see without turning my head. I can see the calendar on the wall on top. I can see the big clock on the wall. I can see the two lamps on either side of me. And in my peripheral vision, without turning my head, because I have stage training, I can see the windows and the closet with all the show stuff in it. So I can see a bunch of stuff. What I can't see is around the corner in the other room. What I can't see is the floor above me. And whoever it is who sounds like they're trying to drill into a bank vault again. So it's reasonable for me to think, I failed somehow. I have failed. I mean, it's all there. I know it's there. When I get up and I go out that door, I know there's another room. Why can't I see it? Well, I'm facing the other way. Do I need to see it? Yes. Okay, then face it. It's not failure. It's priority. It's purpose. It's focus. There are stages of survival mechanisms, choices that are available to us. All of them managed by the subconscious brain that sends out a signal to release whatever hormones trigger the adrenaline we need to save ourselves from certain disaster. That brain believes we are in the present tense. We live in a cave. Everything outside the cave is a saber-toothed whatnot, and it's their lunchtime, essentially. That's what this brain continues to believe. One tribe, one group, one cave, one threat. And it is on constant alert to save us. That's it. That's this brain's view of life. It predates words, which is why words don't help at all when we're in a high emotional state. It's why actions speak louder than words. Good morning, Freddie. Lovely to see you. It is because that brain, that's the currency it deals in. Okay. So in survival mode, there is fight or flee. There is, within those two extreme options, there are two others. Three, actually. Freeze. They can't see me. If they can't see me, they'll think I'm a tree and they'll keep going. Hide. If they can't see me, they can keep looking, but they can't find me. Comply. Yep, I'll go along to get along. What do you need? That's it. That's all there is. Fight, flee, freeze, hide, comply. Those are the coping mechanisms, the functions that brain chooses to keep us alive. Always has, always will. That's the deal. Okay? That we have not failed in those choices can be proven because we're still here. We're alive. It worked. There may be ripple effects that are unhelpful and unhappy. However, the point wasn't what a good time we're having. The point was that we're alive and well so we can have one. That's it. It's very simple. The more we complicate it, the sillier it gets. Okay? So if we go all the way back to the very, very basic beginning, fight, flee, freeze, hide, comply. Okay. Modern man and woman and all the other people in the group do not live in one tribe. Do not live in one cave. Do not have one job to fulfill to maintain our role within the tribe in that cave. We have many. As we have evolved, we have come up with more and more and more jobs and responsibilities and hats to wear and things we do. And that brain doesn't know it. That brain has no idea. This brain knows it. This cause and effect brain knows it. The one in the middle knows it. The thinking brains, the conscious brains that think they're all that in a bag of chips, right? Those brains know that we belong to many different things. That brain, by the way, the one in charge, doesn't know it. So right away, we can see potential for conflict. Also, conflict resolution. That would be me. So this is the substance of the video today, starting sharply at 10:21. When we think we're failing, we're not looking at the big picture. We're looking at the small one. When we think we got it wrong, we're only focused on this in this moment right now. When we go there and judge ourselves that way, we are behaving like the subconscious brain. But that we are capable of judging ourselves and discussing it with ourselves means that we are using our thinking brain badly because we're standing too close, not only to what is going on, but the context. And I'm going to explain to you the one thing that will allow you to say, oh, I never thought of that. Ready? Okay. The story behind it is one day somebody called me and said, I'd like to hire you to stand in a store window and act like a mannequin. I said, what a cool idea. Do you pay money? They said, yes. I said, I'll be right over. The visual in my head is there's 5 mannequins and one of them is me. And we're all dressed the same, right? and mannequin number 3 in the middle will be the comic relief because she won't be able to get it right because human. I know, by the way, Abby, human. So I went down, they said, we want you to do your best job of looking exactly like the other 5. And I said, yeah, I get it. And they said, and not messing up. And I said, well, that'll be extra. I don't know if I can do that. We thought you said you knew how to do it. I said, well, I knew how to mess it up. So this is what I learned for the first time. And I was not 5, I was older than that. I learned how incredibly difficult it is to stand completely still or sit completely still for any length of time after about 90 seconds. And 90 seconds is pushing it. But I was there all day. And so I said, do you have a turn thing, I can stand on it that'll move. And they said, oh yeah, we can do that. I said, okay, good. So what we need to do is rotate me so that I can breathe and cross my eyes and do stuff when I'm not facing out. Oh, good idea. Even so, here's what happens when you freeze. And I don't mean like this. I mean, you just find a pose. You figure, no, I'm okay. I'm good with this. Yeah. Okay. The muscles start twitching because the subconscious brain is saying something's not right. Is she dead? She can't be dead because I'm still fixing this. What's she doing? Poke, poke, muscle twitch, twitch, blink, blink, breathing. You have to sneeze. Your nose itches, like stuff, cramp in your foot. I mean, really, your whole body goes into mutiny because it's not normal to freeze. It is the most difficult thing to do. Of all of the survival mechanisms, fight, flee, freeze, hide, comply. Freeze is the ultimate. It's really hard. Now, there is something we are now doing because we are trying to fit in, comply, hide, all that stuff. We are trying to process and we are trying to live on many different levels, providing solutions to and responsibilities to many different groups that are codepending on each other, and that includes us. It's not that they're all depending on us. This is not all on us. It is that we are all depending on each other. And it's not just the one tribe. It's all the tribes. What do you mean all the tribes, Abby? We all belong to one tribe. No, we don't. The tribe that we're born with is mom, dad, buddy, sis in the cave. Period. Go to work, that's a tribe. Own a car, that's a tribe. Go shopping for clothing so that you don't terrify people on the way to work, that's a tribe. Buy food, that's a tribe. Every group we become part, walk down a street with people, wait at the light to change red or green, that's a tribe. Every group we become part of is another tribe. We are part of that tribe. This brain doesn't know that. It only knows one tribe. Cannot comprehend more than one tribe. So we can't rely on instinct, and we can't rely on history repeating itself, stored in our emotional brain, to automatically handle many tribes simultaneously and our roles and responsibilities in those tribes in the moment when things go wrong. So what we do, because we are trying to be a good member of all these other tribes, is we try to function anyway. We try to get up and show up and lean in and make it work anyway, all the while freezing. How on earth is that possible? And my answer to that question is exactly. When we have a significant crisis and it shakes us to our very sense of who we feel we are and what we feel we know, it can cause us to freeze while we reevaluate what on earth is going on. When we are uncertain, when we are terrified, any of the negative feelings that we have that cause us to incapacitate, those are elements of the freeze mechanism in place. And we are still functioning. We are still putting on, I've got a hair coming in my eye here. we are still putting on our socks and facing the front and showing up and trying to do our best and answer questions and deliver deliverables when we said we would, in the way that we said we would, in spite of the fact that much of us is in some kind of survival lockdown mode. And that is not possible. That is not logical, as Mr. Spock would say. You cannot remain still and act with any degree of skill. And yet, this is what we are doing. The psychological term for the extreme levels of anxiety, shame, exhaustion, and guilt. Looking at the list. Yep, that's it. Is executive function, which is cause effect. Executive function dysfunction. We can't compute. We are embarrassed. We are frustrated. We've always been able to compute. We can't. We try harder. We push. We get worked up. We get angry. We get confused. We get exhausted. We feel shame and guilt that we have not been able to do the thing we always used to be able to do before the thing that altered everything. Functional freeze. And it feels like failure. It feels like failure. It feels like giving up. It feels like there's no point. And this is so important. It's so important. If you don't accept, take, evaluate, chew on any other thing I ever say, pure, simple math, that you can and that you do is proof that you are on the trajectory. That every day you are showing up. Every day you are leaning in, even if it is not as much, even if you realize you wore mismatching socks or no socks or the wrong shoes, that you are giving it what you have is proof that you are overriding incredible odds. It doesn't feel like it. I know that. It feels like a slog. I know that. It feels empty. I know that. The point is, it feels. You can feel, which means you can choose. You can say, I deserve to take a breath. I deserve to put my head between my knees so I don't throw up. It means I deserve to sit down for a minute. It means I deserve to call a friend and say, I'm not having my best day. It means we deserve to recognize, to give ourselves permission to recognize that it's a curve. It means that when we're exhausted, we are the breaking wave. But a breaking wave isn't broken. A breaking wave is restarting, re-energizing, recalculating, recalibrating, resting, recovering, readying itself, resetting itself. That's us. That's us. I posted a picture on Facebook of, it's a picture called Sheep Leaping Day. There's a field full of sheep, and they're all just grazing. And one of the sheep is being leapfrogged by a wolf. And the sheep is completely oblivious. The sheep is just there. And the wolf, the expression on the wolf's face is worth $11 billion. The wolf is having the best day ever. Now, the reason I posted it, because it makes me smile. The reason I posted it is this. Okay, technically, in the dictionary under sheep and wolf, that's not what the wolf is supposed to be doing. Really? The wolf pack is going, oh, there he goes. He had one job, and there he goes. The wolf is having best day ever, you can tell. Okay, the sheep is oblivious. Sheep, you know what? I'm busy. There's that lunatic wolf again. What we don't realize when we look at something like that is that nobody is failing in that picture. Granted, the wolf is not getting dinner for the rest of the pack, granted. However, the wolf has chosen something that brings joy to the wolf, granted. The sheep is not failing. The sheep is doing what sheep do, sheepishly. The pasture isn't failing. The fence isn't failing. The sky isn't failing or falling. There is no failure in that picture. It is people and sheep and animals and plants and skies and fences doing what they do. Okay, not a lot of wolves leapfrog, but that one is in that moment leapfrogging. I'm not diminishing how terrible we feel when we feel lost. I'm not diminishing in any way how we feel when all we really have the energy to do is lie face down on the kitchen floor because the tile is cool and we just need a moment, okay? We just need a moment. I'm not diminishing that in any way. What I am saying is this. If you judge yourself as failing, you're doing it wrong. You're not a great judge. You're good at other things. Judging yourself, not so much. You have room for improvement. There is no book anywhere, no list anywhere that says, this is the definition of failing. And it's your picture in this moment. Nowhere. That is your decision to beat yourself up. And this is what I want. This is what I want more than anything. Showing up and showing out, yes. Here's what I fervently hope you do today. In addition to all the things that I ask of you at the end of every video, I ask you to take out your later folder. And I ask you to write in the later folder, or anywhere if you don't have a later folder, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how are you doing? How is the day? How is everybody else? How is the weather? How do you physically feel? How did breakfast taste? How are you organizing the tasks you have to complete in order to feel safe? On a scale of 1 to 10, how is the organizing going? And then I want you to pick one of those things one, and look at it and say, what one thing do I have the ability and the freedom to do right now to make this better? One thing I can do right now to make this one thing better, and do it. That you can do. Well, first of all, I have to get a job and then I have to get a haircut. No. Right now, one thing that you can actually do right now to change the number beside that one thing. And do it. And when you've done it, write down, I did it. And then give me the new number on how you feel about that. Try your very best to resist the urge to say, well, it could have been. No judgment. Just the facts, ma'am. Because we can't fix anything if we don't do it one thing at a time. Multitasking, doing many things badly, right? The second thing I want you to do, very important, as important as the first. In fact, I probably should have made it the first one. People are not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. Flowers are not perfect. Animals are not perfect. Grass isn't perfect. Bricks aren't perfect. Sandwiches aren't perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nothing. We can then stop saying, I'm not good enough. Because good enough compared to what? Perfection? Nah, see, that's a stalling tactic. That's an excuse. I am, I make jokes about the kitchen because there's so much material there. I make jokes about cooking. I make jokes about understanding appliances. I make jokes about these things. And I do it because I really do try my very best. And I really do quite often succeed. The thing is, those tasks don't have the same importance to me as other tasks that I take great pride in doing well. The other thing, the food, mostly, here's the thing about food for me. I really like food. And when I'm hungry, I want it now. Because I'm hungry now, right? This is Aries tendency. Thing is, I'm not remotely interested in the making of it, in the cooking of it, in the putting of it together. Somebody else can do that. Oh, I have to do it? All right. I'm not interested. It doesn't fuel me. I don't say, oh my gosh, I get to, don't care. No, you go to, remember the house parties that we used to go to? And all the women talk about things like, oh, I found the most amazing floor cleaner. And I'm thinking, okay, what time I have to go. Okay, good. I'm glad you found a floor cleaner. Tell me what it is. But I don't think I'm real excited to get dressed up and go to a party in order to have that conversation, because it's right up there with cooking. So I could be better at it. If it mattered to me, yes, I could. You know what? I could take a cooking course. I can remember stuff. I take direction well. I don't care enough. I care about the other stuff. Passionately, I care about the other stuff. And there's only so much time. Do I beat myself up because cooking is not my greatest strength? No, I don't allow my ego into it. People sometimes say, you post that, my God, the camera loves you. No, the camera doesn't love me. I only post the pictures in which I look amazing. I have so many other pictures you think, oh. And if you didn't think so, you just need to spend, I don't know, 30 seconds looking at any pictures from You Can't Do That on Television, which, by the way, are on the internet forever. So do I have any illusions that I'm perfection walking? No. Do I wish to dwell on it? No. So we show you the lovely stuff, and we hope nobody's looking at that stuff. Why? Well, why would I? Oh, look, there's an outfit that makes me look fat. Let's wear that places. What? Why? I can find all kinds of those. The thrill of victory is finding something that looks pretty cool. There we go. So, you know, I was talking to Ellen Bond, one of our amazing photographers at Fanaticon this year, and she said, "You know what you do?" I said, "Maybe." Should I be sitting down? And she said, "You bring the joy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I do. I do my best. That's the thing I want to bring. That's the thing I am all in on bringing is the joy. Is the just the sheer, how about that? Look what we've got. Yeah, I do." And she said, watching people come into the booth, in one kind of state and leaving after they've been with us for a while, it's amazing. I said, I know, right? And you know what I really like about it the most, and what I really like about what is happening now with these videos the most, is that my instinct is correct. You know what we like more than anything? All of us? Shh. We like the joy. We love the joy. We love the laughing so hard and say, oh God, I have to fix everything on my face now. Doesn't matter. The positive endorphin is amazing. So if we crave the joy, then I'm here to bring it. And if you crave the joy, all you need to do is be here with me to swim in it. And personally, that's why I think the numbers are going up. I think people are telling each other, or the ripple effect is out there, that this is kind of a fun time. That there are some messages that I slide in amongst the goofiness, that the resolve that I have to live the best I've got is hopefully contagious, that this is a tribe that we are building, that we are part of, in which there are no exclusions, because everybody has the capacity for joy. And if you haven't brought it out, I'm here to help. The contagion is here to help you say, okay, I really didn't feel I could afford to take that time, but I feel that was cool. Thanks, Abby. That is why it's happening. It's why we're doing it. My project that I began 4 years ago now was to give people two things. The clarity that, yeah, it's broken and you didn't break it. And the knowledge and the tools to fix it so that it works for you. I can do that. I have that, somebody said, do you have any qualifications? Yes, I do. Yeah, I have perfected this. My entire life has been an exercise in being schooled in how to perfect this. Every book, every show, every conversation, every event I have ever been involved with has been about finding the value, bringing the joy, trying it on, and grinning all over my face because of how good it feels. That is who I am. It is what I do. It is what I have always done. It is what my ancestors did. And the tools that I use to navigate myself and you through the process every day, awake and asleep, is some form of storytelling. I'm either entertaining you with a story that illustrates the message, I'm sharing the message and having a conversation, interactive questions and answers, or I'm consulting with you on the processes and the tools that you can't figure out how to use to serve you best. That is all I do. I am the example, I am the coach, and I'm the cheerleader. That's it. And all you have to do is say, I'm in, where do I sign, when does it start? So this is episode 286. Twice a week for almost 3 years, in spite of everything, I have been giving you breadcrumbs. This is it. This is another bit. This is a different side. This is my other good side. That's what I've been doing to get you up to speed so that when we launch, when my tech friends get my website looking not like it got hit by a bus. I got an email that said, okay, so the good news is I got your email. The disconcerting news is that I read your email. The person who's going to help me, sign people up and get us all working said, I have to go now. I'm going to go and lie down for a while. I'll be back. Where is everybody? It's okay. It's the beginning of September. It's an anniversary for everybody of something every day. Everybody has gone through, will go through, is going through something amazing, astonishing, and we're all in it together. We can feel all the ripple effects together. So you need to, for you, get your later folder. You don't have to use mine. And by the way, where do you get them? Well, see, the website is going to, okay. But you need to make a later folder. You need to write the stuff down. And I talked about this very quickly on, okay, I talked about this very quickly on Tuesday. This is why you need to write it down. Okay? If it's in here, it's shaping and shading and filtering everything you see and hear and feel and do. You have to get it out of there. You have to get it out of here, out of where all the other things need to work. Get it out of there. If it's in here, it's conflicting with all of the decisions that you need to make in order to get from A to B. You need to get it out of there. I don't want to lose it. I can't forget it. It's really important. That's why we write it down. I can do it on my computer. Sure you can. Do it on the computer. When the computer crashes, you can't find it. Get a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper, get it in a notebook, get it in something, get a weapon of mass construction of some kind, and write it down. If you're going to do it on the computer, fine. Then print it and stick it on the wall. Put it in a folder, stick it in your pocket. Why? So that your emotional survivor brain doesn't focus on making sure you still have it because it's a survival tool. I have it with me. It's safe. I will deal with it later, is why it's called a later folder. Okay? Get it out of your heart. Get it out of your head. Get it onto the page where you can see it. You can look at it. You can correct the spelling. You can try a different font. The point is that when it's out of here and out of here and it's here, you can evaluate it. It's tangible, it's real, and it is therefore correctable, fixable, ownable, and rejectable. I have a very dear friend who wrote something this morning on a post. Thank you for making me something, something, something was the post. And I reached out and I said, no, you need to fix that. Here's why. We do not give to others our power to change. We change. What others do, we give ourselves permission to influence us. We own the bus. We drive the bus. It's out of my control. Sure. Sure it is. That is a hurricane. It's not that the wind is blowing, it's what it's blowing. We have the power to stand there or get to safety. We have the power to choose to see ourselves as works in progress. Because, by the way, that is what we are. We have that power. It is ours. We own it. When we give it away, we are giving the power to someone else. When I have to go someplace and pay a professional something to perform a function, I do this thing that surprises and confuses them because superpower. I say, I need to know something about you that a lot of people just on the street don't know. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Person says, I'm sorry. I said, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Why? Just tell me your favorite flavor of ice cream. So, raspberry. Okay, raspberry. And what is the food you like the least that with any luck you don't have to ever eat? Just tell me. Liver. Okay. So if I offered you raspberry covered liver, you would not be a happy person, right? Okay, good. Now let's proceed. Why did you do that? And I said, because I need to know something about you before I give you my permission to own what happens to me. I have to feel that there is some kind of connection, that I know something about you. The fact that I walk in and it says, I'm really important and I'm worth $500 an hour, doesn't mean I know anything about you. It means you have a really good sign printer. We have to reduce things to the human level to understand who we are and where we fit in each other's tribe. And if you don't think that's true, then how else do you explain all the unhappiness, discontent, feeling of rejection and resentment and stress that we feel is thrust upon us by people we don't even know? Would you feel better if it was somebody you know? Well, no, but well, at least if I knew them, then there would be a reason. That's why. If we know the reason why, we can fix it. So, what if we think we're failing and we're not? That's the question today. And the answer is, if we feel we're failing and we're not, then what we're feeling is an assumption we have made that we now get to fix. We have the tools, we have the talent, we have the time, we have the opportunity, and most importantly, we have the support of people who get it. We're not alone, and we're not failing. We're on a curve. I hope that makes sense today. Pick one thing that makes you feel awful, give it a rating out of 10, and pick one thing you can do right now, no cost, no tools you don't have, no setting aside other things, giving away other things in order to have the ability. One thing you can do to alter that. One small thing. When you have done it, write down that you did it, what you did, how it feels. and then regrade how you feel about it. One time, do it one time. Give yourself and us and me that one effort. One. Okay? And when you do that, you are taking ownership. You are showing yourself how much you care about you, because you are worth it. At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, and all the way through the day, you are always with you. You're never not. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being part of this tribe. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, this focus, this time to share this stuff with you. Thank you for thinking good thoughts about Pivotry in motion and our trajectory moving forward. Be good to you. You deserve it. And remember to hug your loved ones. They deserve it too. Big weekend ahead. Big reaction, big blowback from the first week, away from vacation, back into the routine. Lots of exhaustion at the end of the week from leaning in and doing stuff you'd forgotten how to do. Kind of a challenge. Give yourself permission to breathe. All right? And I will see you next week, right here.